Hello dear students, welcome back to our channel Bhavani Commerce Academy. Today we will see FIFO method, that is first in first out method under material chapter. Okay, so here we have one question regarding that method. Adarsh company purchased and issued the material in the following order. Here given units and unit cost. Units are nothing but quantity and unit cost is nothing but price. So here given 1st January to 30th January details and purchase issues are given. Ascertain quantity of closing stock. We need to find out here closing stock as on 31st January and state its value under each of the following methods of pricing the issues. Here given weighted average cost, FIFO and LIFO. 3 methods we need to use for the calculation of closing stock as on 31st January. Today only we are discussing first in first out method. So before calculating the closing stock on FIFO method, you have to know about FIFO method. So let's see explanation of that FIFO method. FIFO method. Under this method, materials received first or issued first is nothing but first in, first out. For suppose, here we have suppliers, stores department, production department. It is related to factory. Okay. When you purchase raw material from your supplier, then they will deliver to your store. That is nothing but warehouse. Yes. By production department request, your store will issue raw material to production department. Okay, so what we do in FIFO method, whatever that has come first into the store, in that order only it will go out first. That is first in, first out. Simply, let's say one example. On 1st July, purchase 100 units at the rate of 5 per unit. So stores department వచ్చి 1st July లో 100 units purchase చేసింది raw material at the rate of 5 per unit. And 2nd July also they purchased 150 units at the rate of 2 per unit. 3rd also we purchased 100 units at the rate of 3 per unit. So how much stock is available in our store? 100 plus 150 plus 100. Total 350 units of raw material is available in our store. Okay. Production department requested 200 units for the production purpose. Then stores department will issue that 200 units. So according to which method stores department will issue that material, that is the matter here. So here if it is FIFO method, first in first out, in that order stores department will issue that material. Okay, so first in first out method is nothing but first purchases will issue first. So what మనకి ఫస్ట్ ఏది వచ్చింది స్టోర్ లోకి 100 units at the rate of 5 per unit. Okay, first we need to issue this 100 units. Okay, then second purchase చేసింది ఏంటి 150 units at the rate of 2 per unit. Okay, then we need to issue this 150 units. Then third purchase 100 units, 3 per unit. So next we need to issue this 100 units. So here we required 200 units to issue. So how they issue? From 100 units you can take total 100 units. That means you need to issue here 100 units at the rate of 5 per unit. Then how much left here? Out of 200, 100 issued from the first purchase. Remaining 100, that is from second purchase. 100 at the rate of what is cost per unit here? 2 rupees per unit. What is our leftover stock here? 50. And also 100. This 150 units are closing stock in that date. Unused stock. Okay, so this is the way to issue of material by using FIFO method. Okay, let's see one example, practical example. Let's start our solution. So for the solution you require stores ledger. If it is FIFO method or LIFO method or weighted average or simple average, same format we are using. Okay, date column, particulars column, receipt, issue, balance. So let's start our solution. Okay, so according to date wise you need to follow. On 1st January purchase 300 at the rate of 3 rupees. So purchase means we are purchasing raw material from the suppliers. So at the time we are receiving goods. Yes, so 1st January, just you need to write here Jan 1st. So what happened? Purchase is nothing but goods received. Okay, at the time of purchase we need to write under particulars column goods received. Okay, then how much quantity we received here? 300 quantity, that is units, number of units are 300 and unit cost is nothing but price. How much? 3 rupees per unit. Okay, 300 into 3 rupees how much? 900. Yes. Under issue column nil. under balance column, we need to show that balance because we purchased. At the time of purchase, our store balance will increase. So that we need to show here 300 at the rate of 3 rupees 900. Okay, so our store balance as on January 1st, how much? 300 units at the rate of 3 rupees per unit, and the value of that units are 900. Okay, close this accordingly. And next, what is next? 5th Jan, purchase 600 units, 4 rupees each. 6th Jan, purchase. Purchase means what we should write? Goods received. Goods received. How many goods we received? 600 units at the rate of 4 per unit. So 600 into 4, how much? 2400. Okay, so while showing balance, how to show? Already available stock we need to show first. Then new purchases we need to show next. Okay, so available stock is 300, 3 rupees per unit, 900. And on that 6th January, we purchased again 600 units, 4 rupees each, 2400. Okay, close this. 10th Jan, issue 500 units. Okay. On January 10th, issue means requisition note. So by the request of production department only, stores department will issue the material, so that we need to write, if you have issue, we need to write requisition note. And where we should write if you have issue? Under issue column. So how to issue? When you are issuing, you need to see what method we are using. Which method we are using? FIFO method, first in, first out method. So in the last date, what is the first purchase? 300. Second purchase 600. Yes, first we need to issue this 300. If you have any requirement for the issue, then go to second purchase. So on 10th January, how many units we need to issue? 500. Okay, so we need to issue 500 units. So first in first out method we are using. So first in, so మన store లోకి first ఏది వచ్చింది? 300. So first you need to issue this 300 at the rate of 3 per unit. So what is the value? 900. Okay, then second ఏది వచ్చింది? 600. So from 600, how much we required? Out of 500, 300 issued from the store. Remaining, how much you required? 200. That 200 you need to take from 600. So from 600 we are issuing 200. At what cost? 4 rupees. సో 600లో నుంచి తీసుకున్నాం కాబట్టి దాని ప్రైస్ ఏది ఉంటే ఆ ప్రైస్నే మనం యూస్ చేయాలి at the time of issue. Okay, 200 into 4, how much? 800. Okay, then we need to show leftover balance in our store on 10th January. How to show? This 300 issued from the store. So store lo ledu. And from 600 we issued 200 units. So how much left here? 400 units are available in our store on 10th January. So at the rate of, what is the price here? 4 rupees. 400 into 4, how much? 1600. Yes, close this. Likewise, we need to show balance. Okay, and next date 12th Jan, purchase 700 at the rate of 4. On 12th, purchase means what we should write? Goods received, because at the time of purchase we are receiving goods. So if you have goods received, where we should write? Under receipt column. How many goods we received here? 700 units at the rate of 4 per unit. Okay, so 700 into 4 rupees, how much? 2800. Okay, now you need to show balance. So how to show? Available stock we need to show first, then we need to show new purchases. So what is available stock on before date? 400. So 400, 4 rupees each, 1600. And new purchases 700, 4 rupees each, 2800. So on 12th Jan, available stock is 400 units as well as 700 units of stock. Okay, then next one, 15th Jan, issue 800 units. On 15th, issue is there. So what we should write if you have issue? Requisition note. By the request of production department, stores department will issue that material, so that we are writing this requisition note. So when you have a requisition note, where we should write our balance? Under issue column. So how many units we need to issue from our store? 800 units. So how we have to issue? By using FIFO method, first in, first out. In the last date, what is the first purchase? 400. And second, 700. First we need to issue this 400. If you have any requirement for the issue, then go for 700. So how much we need to issue? 800. Total 800 units we need to issue. So we are taking this 400 because first in first out. First ఇది వచ్చింది కాబట్టి స్టోర్ లోకి ఫస్ట్ ఇది ఇష్యూ చేసేసేయాలి. సో 400 into 4, 1600, and out of 800, 400 issued from the store. Remaining how much you required? Remaining 400. That is from 700 we are taking. What rate? 4 rupees. 700 కి ఏ కాస్ట్ ఉందో ఆ ప్రైస్ ని మనం క్యాలిక్యులేషన్ లోకి తీసుకుంటాం. సో 4 rupees each. 400 into 4, 1600. Then how to show balance now? In our store 400 units are issued. సో ఇక్కడ మనకు బ్యాలెన్స్ లో 400 లేదు, ఇష్యూ చేసాం కాబట్టి. అండ్ 700 లో 400 కూడా ఇష్యూ చేసాం. ఇంకెంత మిగిలింది? 300 యూనిట్స్. సో లెఫ్ట్ ఓవర్ స్టాక్ ఇన్ అవర్ స్టోర్ 300 ఫ్రమ్ ద సెకండ్ పర్చేస్ ఎట్ ద రేట్ ఆఫ్ 4. సో 300 into 4, 1200. Close this. And next, and 20th Jan, purchase 300 units at the rate of 5 per unit. 20th Jan, purchase is there. Purchase means goods received. Okay, so when you are receiving goods, we will write under receipt column. How many goods we received? 300 at the rate of 5 per unit. Okay, 300 into 5, how much? 1500. Okay, then you need to show balance. Available stock you need to show first. 300 at the rate of 4 rupees, 1200, and new purchase you need to show next. 300 at the rate of 5 per unit, 1500. So close this. And next, 30th Jan, issue 100 units. 30 issue is there. So when you are having issue, what we should write? Requisition note. How many units we need to issue? 100 units. So how to issue? By using FIFO method. So here available first purchase and second purchase. From first purchase we need to issue first. If you have leftover units to issue, that is from second purchase. Yes. So I'm taking here first purchase. How many units we need to issue? 100. So that 100 is available in the first purchase itself. No need to go second purchase. Yes. 100 we are taking from first purchase. At what rate? 4 rupees per unit. So how much? 100 into 4? 400. Then we need to show leftover balance in our store. So out of 300, only 100 issued from our store. Okay. Then how much left? 200 from first purchase. At what rate? 4 rupees per unit. 200 into 4, how much? 800. And this 300 unused. So ఈ 300 ఇంకా ఇష్యూ చేయలేదు. Yes, that is also we need to show here. So 5 rupees. So 300 into 5, how much? 1500. Okay. Close this. And next, all the transactions are completed. Ascertain the quantity of closing stock as on 31st January. So what is closing stock? Unissued stock from our store. So issue చేయని stock ఎంత ఉంది ఇంకా? 200 and 300. Total how much stock is available? 500 units of stock is available in our store. And what is the value of that stock? 800 plus 1500. How much? 2300. How much stock is available in our store? 500 units, and the value of that units 2300. Value of closing stock 2300 by using FIFO method. So this is the calculation process for the FIFO method. Okay. Thank you for watching.